Okay, so welcome back, everyone. This is going to be a joint presentation for both the surface and underground mining classes here at Bluefield State. In this, I'm going to introduce the projects for the two classes and just give an overview of what those are going to be like. Still working on sourcing topo maps and properties for these, but I do have them available. I just want to sort through and find a nice good example for both of these. So with that, let's get into it and see here what's going on. So for both courses projects, you will be given a topography map with a property boundary and any other relevant information and assumptions that will be required to complete the project. For the surface project specifically, it's going to address a contour strip mine where the stripping ratio, bench height, blasting parameters, and equipment selection must be determined. The layout of the highwall miner projections using ARMS highwall miner to determine pillar stability, and we'll be doing disturbed area calculations, ditch design, and a phased reclamation plan. So with that, the site in the project will contain, so what I have done here is I'm adding in things that I've seen throughout my career and that I think would be important for considerations in this project. That way, we can cover several of the things you might see out there. And so in this case, there's actually going to be a pre-existing contour high wall. And what we are going to do is come in with modern mining techniques, and modern coal prices, okay, and determine how much more of that we can mine. And then we'll also, take that new high wall, do some high wall miner projections, and then show the phased reclamation of it. There will also be an adjacent underground mine that you'll have to work around in certain ways. So we'll have that. And then what the students will be able to do is, like I said, determine a stripping ratio based on given dollars per ton, select and size equipment, do the high wall miner projections, calculate recovery, design ditches, and then complete a simple phased reclamation plan. So that's what we're going to do for the surface mine project. The underground project, it will be to address the layout of projections for a set of mains and a series of panels in an existing mine. Okay, so I'm not starting from scratch, not starting at the outcrop, but we're going to be driving a set of mains off, the existing set of mains to lay out some panels. We'll be using ACPS for calculating the pillar stability, and roof support using the analysis of mine roof support, ARMS, or AMRS, we'll call it. And then what secondary or supplemental support might be required, and the ventilation requirements. This mine site is going to contain a pre-existing adjacent mine. That's something that's very common and you will run into a lot. And two, a pre-existing subjacent mines. So we're going to have one overlying and one underlying mines over top of what we're going to project here. This sounds very complicated, and well, it is, but you'll find out as we go through the class that there will be a way to simplify this problem so that we can solve it with the tools that we have without using some sort of numerical modeling software like Land Model or something. And for this, students will be able to project mains in a series of panels in an existing mine, use ACPS to calculate pillar stability, AMRS to calculate roof stability, determine the need for rib support, determine where secondary support might be required, and then the ventilation requirements. So once again, that's what we're going to go through in these sort of two projects. They are two-phased, the projects. I didn't make a slide on this, but the projects will be two-phased, and I'm most likely going to extend the originally suggested deadline for part one And that's because I think maybe we're not going to be covering enough early enough to get it in now with the current schedule that I have. So let's that'll be happening. And as we move on, you'll see that as we go through the course, you'll see that you'll be able to add these sort of components into everything as we go. So that's why I want to give it to you early, and that way you can start thinking about it and working on it then. I'm going to try to have those available next week. Of course, next week is the Bluefield Coal Show, and so if you're in class, there'll be no in-person class on that Thursday. So with that, please come out if you can, if you're available and around, and we'll get some more details on this as we go.